What I focus on is electrical things. If I had to sum it up in one word, I would use the word automation. So electrical automation. There's an awful lot of things that fall into that category. There's even things that are outside of that category, like solar panels and wind turbines. But automation kind of sums it up. You've got sensors. You've got some sort of a processor that's doing the thinking and making decisions. And then you've got something that you're activating, either switches or valves or something else that you're controlling. So the focus of our program here is a 2-year degree. It's called an AAS degree, Associate in Applied Science. And what we're trying to do is have students come in. You don't have to have a background in electricity or automation. We will start from scratch. We will teach you the basics of electricity and how that works. We'll talk about sensors. We'll talk about programmable controllers. We'll talk about some programming. And we'll also talk about a thing called process control. A lot of these things are words and terms that you might not be familiar with. They're almost a secret. This idea of becoming a technician is something that's very valuable. You're somewhere between a skilled worker and an engineer, where you're using your brain, but you're also using your hands to take things apart, put things together, fix things, make things better. When students come in, again, they don't have usually a very deep background in electricity or automation. So we're giving you the fundamentals so that you can go to get a job and be trained better on that job. So it's going to depend on what you like, what you're good at, and then what door you end up going and knocking on as to what career and what area you go into. And you're a little bit of all things, really. You are a little bit of a worker where you have to use your hands to take something apart, put it together, but you're also a little bit of an engineer where you're using your mind and your knowledge for how does the physical world work? What are the equations that kind of describe the relationship between things? We're going to be teaching both of those things here at Blackhawk, the brain part and the hands part. So you'll be understanding the equations and the relationship of electricity to various things, resistors, inductors, capacitors, things like that. But you'll also be taking things apart, putting them together with your hands. The demand in this field is always strong. It's always increasing a little bit because we always see automation increasing. There's going to be automation being added into the manufacturing. There's going to be automation and more complication in the products that we all develop and buy. So that requires more brains. It also requires more need for technicians to get in there and problem solve. The interesting part about this job is that there's not just one simple task that you do or one simple job or industry that you go into. It can be quite varied. We do have people that are working at John Deere testing their combines, the new ones, before they start mass producing them. They travel. We have some people here not traveling, working at John Deere. They've got a test facility where they may be shaking. They have a huge platform where they'll put a combine on it and they will shake it. And again, have sensors on that, getting information off of that and funneling it into a computer so that you can analyze the data. We have people that are in industrial maintenance. So for example, they may be working for a company that is involved with overhead cranes. So you can imagine all the manufacturing companies around here that have overhead cranes, picking stuff up, moving it, setting it down. Somebody's got to get in there and do periodic maintenance to make sure that it's not going to fail today or this week or this month, or to upgrade cranes like that. Or if something's broken, figure out what's broken and repair it, because in a manufacturing environment, anytime something is not working, somebody's losing a lot of money. So you're very valuable, you're very important when you can get in there, figure out what the problem is. Again, problem solving, and then physically fix the problem and get things back to working the way they were earlier. In engineering technology, usually you're paid by the hour. And so if you just take a ballpark number of, say, $20 an hour, you're going to have about 2,000 hours a year. So $20 an hour times 2,000 is about $40,000 a year. That's without any overtime, and that's kind of maybe early on in your career. As you get more experience, just within a few years, you could be making, $25, $26, $27 an hour. The real value add that we give here at Blackhawk are two things. One is the knowledge that we have. The teachers have a great amount of knowledge and experience that they can convey to the student. The second thing is the relationship between the teacher and the student. The teachers here are here to teach. They're here to help the students be successful. So if a student is not understanding a concept, for example, we can explain it differently. We can explain it more. We can take more time. You're going to get that sort of experience of working with people, working for people in this case, and having that respect, but also having a good time. We also laugh, we talk about what's going on. We find things that are humorous, and that makes us a community, really, so that people want to go to school. You don't want to miss a day at school because it's fun. You're learning things, which is very valuable for your life, but you're also enjoying it and you're enjoying the relationships. I think contacting the advisors to find out what programs, what classes you can get into here for the engineering technology is the best approach. Also, the teachers are very available and welcoming any kind of questions. We often have students come in by themselves or with their parents, and we walk them around the classrooms. We talk about this, the program, talk about the equipment. We usually have more time then, we're more relaxed, where we can sit down and answer your specific questions.